Okay, so everyone, welcome to Saturday morning yoga. And like I said, today is just going to be a real gentle beginner flow, accessible to everyone, but I'll provide modifications along the way. But all you're going to need today is your mat and an open mind and some positive self-talk. So starting down on your mat, just get yourself seated and then you can roll all the way back down. And we're going to start in this Shavasana pose today because I want us to really connect with our breath. And automatically you have a bunch of options of what you can do with your legs. So if you want to keep your feet up, if you have a really tight low back, you can keep your feet on the floor, step them a little bit wider, and just tent your knees in towards each other. Or you can butterfly your legs. This is a little bit more aggressive on those hip flexors, but some people, that's just where you want to start your Saturday, you weekend warrior, you. Or you can extend your legs long on the mat. This is a little bit more straining on that low back, but it can be really free feeling if your body is at this spot today. So coming down onto your back, tucking your shoulder blades under, opening up your chest, spreading your heart forward, letting it shine. I want you to close your eyes just for the beginning part of our class today. And let's get into the benefits of yoga, which is that meditative and that mind calming aspect. So with your eyes closed, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Let your belly rise, let your chest expand, and as you exhale, open up your mouth and sigh that breath out. One more, just like that. Inhale deeply in through your nose. And exhale. Lick your lips, close your mouth, and let's try to start breathing in and out through our noses. So again, in yoga, we call this our Ujjayi breath. It's a powerful breath because you can hear yourself breathing in and out, and it helps you to bring that air deeper down into your lungs. So exhaling that breath you're on right now, let's take an inhale in together very slowly for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that count in your head. So many oftentimes throughout the week, we rush through that exhale or we're not even conscious of it. And that's where we really receive the benefits of that breath. We slow it down and that calms our heart, calms our mind. Another inhale in. And another exhale. Last one, inhaling it in. And exhaling. And then fluttering your eyes open. We're going to take one moment here just to set up for our next pose. So we're going to go into a bridge pose. So I want you to bend your knees up, placing your feet flat on the mat and walk them as closely to your glutes as possible. A lot of us start to get those knee issues where we can't walk them in as close, but see if you can brush the backs of your heels with your fingertips. And we're going to go into our back body. So first, pick up your toes and then place them down on the mat. So you are very light in your toes in this exercise. We're not pushing down. We're focusing on those heels. So exhale your breath. And then on an inhale, pushing down through your heels, lift your glutes, roll up your back, maybe to the tips of your shoulder blades. And then exhale, roll it back down, really articulating, coming down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that 2 more times. So squeeze your glutes, push down through your heels and lift. Really roll up maybe to your shoulders. Exhale, rolling it back down. So we're firing up our hamstrings, our glutes, and our low back. One more time. Squeeze down through those heels. Lift, lift, lift. And we're going to hold this for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. So you probably started just to feel your backside firing up. So let's counterbalance that. Pull your knees into your chest now. So a little Shavasana pose here, pulling those knees in, seeing if you can flatten your back, arch your back right now in this pose so that you can flatten your whole back down on that mat. And then place your hands on the tops of your knees. Push your knees away while you're also pulling them towards you. So we're being very conscious and active now through our front body. Exhale, pull your knees in. Inhale, push your knees away. Really firing up those low abs. Exhale, pull those knees in. Inhale, push those knees away. Then place your feet down on the mat. Now, relaxing your arms down by your sides. I want you to extend your left leg straight up towards the sky. So your feet are flexed, your toes are pulling back towards your face. If I was to drop a piece of water on the tip of your heel, it should roll down towards your face. And now we're going to do a little opener of this leg. Now, I'm not looking for your flexibility. I'm looking for your strength, and you'll understand what I mean in just a second. So keeping both of your hips planted firmly down on that mat, open out your left leg to the side so that you still feel both of your hips firmly planted down on the mat. So this is starting to really engage your obliques, your lower abdominals, and your inner thigh. I don't want you just to flop it down onto the floor beside you. I want you to see if you can hold it up. So this is the strength building. And then pulling that leg back up towards middle. Now let me see your flexibility. Cross it across your body over to the right side. So now you're really going to feel that IT band, which if you have a job that has you sitting a lot, would feel really magical to stretch right now. So let's do that one more time. Pulling your left leg back up through neutral, opening it out to the left. And if you have short hamstrings and you need to bend that knee a little bit, you can. And then pulling it back through neutral, stretch that IT band and bring it over across your body. Again, try to keep both hips firmly planted down on the mat. Excellent. Now extend that left leg back up towards the sky and then cross your left foot over your right knee. Open your left knee out wide. And then now you're going to pick up your right leg and pull your knee into your chest. So this is a reclined pigeon pose. We're really getting into that outer glute. If this is where you're at right here, just holding it up, you can stay there. If you want to snake your hands through and grab your right leg, you can pull that hip in even tighter and you'll feel an even deeper stretch in the glute. Again, I love this. I think this feels so amazing. This is just for me. No, I'm just kidding. But here we go. Now slowly lower that right foot back down to the mat. See if you can cross your left leg even more over your right. And then we're going to let both of our legs fall to the right side. It's okay if your left hip pops up. You're just going into a little bit of a spinal twist here. Now, depending on if you have any back issues or if you've been moving around a little bit since you woke up, you might want to stay right here. If you want to add a deeper stretch, you can start to turn your head to look to the left, just adding a little bit more spine stretch through your cervical spine there. And then let's unwind and go through that on the other side. So roll onto your back one more time. So we always start in yoga kind of down, doing some stretches that are going to help us with our standing postures. And so it's just a good prep work. So now let's take that right foot, extend your right leg straight up towards the sky. Flex those toes back towards your face. Really engage the back part of your leg. And now let's open out to the right. So again, keep both hips firmly planted. Don't let one hip ride up, and just respect where your body is. Yoga, I love the aspect that it's all about self-exploration. Like one day my body can do something, and then one day it can do a completely different thing. And it's just learning the benefits and the limits of your body, which aren't limits. They're just new places to explore. Now pull that right leg back up, and keeping it straight still, cross it over to the left. Ooh, this is really tight on me. So I literally feel this from the outside of that left knee all the way down to the tip of my spine. I'm sorry, it's my right knee, my left. All right, pulling it back up through middle. Let's do it one more time. So we're really getting into the strength of that joint. Open up that right leg out to the right. And inhale, straight up to the sky. Cross your right leg over you, opening it to the left, really feeling that stretch. So yummy. Perfect. And then straighten that leg up to the sky, and let's do that recline pigeon on this side. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Really open your right knee out to the side. Pick up your left foot, pulling it in towards your body. You can just let it hang there if you want to add a little extra. You slide your hands behind that left thigh, pulling it in tighter, feeling some really yummy deep stretch through your glutes. And then release that left leg back down to the floor. You can continue to cross your right knee over a little bit more if you feel good for that. And then cross over for that spinal twist. It's okay if that right hip pops up. If you want to add some more twist to that spine again, you can look back to the right. Deep breath in. And a lovely exhale out. All right. Unwind it one more time. Uncross your legs. And we're going to come to a seated position. So you can push yourself up, or you can be a little playful and start to engage those abs. There's always options. And you can start to rock. So they say this massages your spine. They say, I just say it feels like it's a fun thing to do. And then rock yourself up to your seated position. And we are going to come to a wide angle position here. So you can stay forward on your mat. I will just turn to face you here. So this is going to be probably really active on your core. You're going to feel this in just a minute. So this is just a wide angle squat, wide angle position. So I want you to really flex your toes up to the sky. Okay. Keeping your knees pointed up towards the sky as well. Try not to let them cave forward. And then I want you to lift up out of your side body, feeling your spine grow tall, really feeling active through your hip flexors. And we're going to slowly walk forward. So keeping your hands down on that mat in front of you. You can sway if it feels good, but slowly walk yourself out, seeing how far you can go, still keeping your toes up. If your feet start to curl forward, you've gone too far. But just see how far you can lower yourself down. Again, this is just some self-exploration, seeing where you are. Some people can go all the way flat. I have never been that person. I don't know if I ever will be. All right. And then slowly pull yourself on up. And then we're going to sway from right here. And again, you're going to see how strong your core is. It takes a lot to hold yourself up right here. So relaxing your arms down by your side. Inhale, circle your arms around and up. And then we're going to sway over to the left, just bringing your torso over, and then coming up through neutral, sway over to the right. So you should still be keeping your toes flexed up, your knees are up towards the sky, and you should really start to feel those hip flexors engaging. Let's go one more to the other side. We're just really getting some strength in our hips. Inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, pull your hands down. And now let's fold our feet into a butterfly position. So we're really just exploring those legs. So you can have your feet in the soles of your feet touch, your knees are wide. You can use your hands as a grip. It kind of does provide a little release to that low back. And we're going to start with some neck rolls. So from right here, I want you to drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take a deep inhale in. Relax your shoulders down your back. And then exhale, drop your chin into your chest. Inhale, roll over to the other side. Good job. One more time to each side. So exhaling down through neutral. Inhaling over to the right. We store so much stress in our necks, and it's so good to stretch them out. And then inhaling over to the left. Last one, just dropping your chin into your chest, lifting your chin up through neutral. Hands grip your legs. And let's start with a seated cat and cow. So it's really important to have a grip somewhere on your legs. I realize some of us are going to be up here with our hips because of tightness, but just get a grip somewhere that you have. And then we're going to inhale, push your chest through, roll your shoulders back. Act like you're trying to crunch a ball with your back. And then as you exhale, roll forward. Let me show you from this side. Maybe that will help just visualize it a little bit more. And I have a microphone pack on my back. I don't have this hump. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest forward. So we're toning our back and our front abdominals at the same time. And then exhale, roll it back. Inhale, come back up through neutral. And now we are going to cross our knees and roll over our knees, coming into a tabletop position. So in our tabletop position, your hips are stacked above your knees. Your shoulders are stacked above your wrists. And we're going to first start with a wrist stretch. So again, join me if this feels good to you, but I want you to turn your fingertips of your right hand back towards your knees, and then just stretch out that wrist a little bit. So many people now, with the world the way it is, have a lot more time on their computers. And so these parts of your hands, the forearm, can get very cramped. And then turning your hand back towards the front way, flip it up so it's palm up. And just stretch out the forearm a little bit more. We will be coming onto our arms in a minute for a little plank and down dog action. So this is just a good time to stretch these wrists out. So now let's go to the left hand. Turn your left fingertips back towards your knees, rocking a little bit just to stretch those out. Just because it is not an ab or a thigh, it needs just as much stretch and love. And then flip your hand over so your palm is up. And again, stretch out that forearm. Perfect. All right. Coming back to that tabletop position. So checking out your alignment, that's very important on this so that you're not straining and that you're really getting into the movements. Make sure that you feel like you're stacked. Maybe you can check yourself out in your mirror if you have one. Your fingers are spread out wide like starfish, and you're pushing into the knuckles, not so much the heels of your hands, but the fingertips and the knuckles. And now let's start with a cat and cow. So on an inhale, I want you to lift your glutes, drop your chest, pull your shoulders back, and once again, act like you're squeezing that ball between your shoulders. And then on an exhale, tuck your hips up under, roll your belly button into your spine, push the mat away, roll your chin under. Feel like you're stretching completely from the back of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. 2 more times going through those cycles. So inhale. Opening up the front of your spine. Imagine you're just rocking your whole spine open on the front. And then exhale, open up all of the back part of your spine. Last one, inhale and open. Exhale, close it up. Coming back to neutral, I want you to step your knees back, maybe like one knee print and a little bit wider. So I'm not stacked, right? My hips are above the floor now. My knees are a little bit further out. And walk your hands forward, half of a handprint. So now we're going to get into the hip flexors. So we're coming into a modified plank. So drop your hips down like you are in a modified plank here. Pretend it's a straight line from your knees to the tip of your head. And then exhale, sit back, hips towards your heels, coming to a child's pose. So let's rotate between those two positions. Inhale, come forward to that modified plank, really protecting the integrity of that low back. And then exhale, sit back to your child's pose. Last one. Inhale, come on forward. Now you can stay right here in this plank, or you can explore and see if you can drop your hips a little bit more, kind of coming into a modified up dog position. And then last one, pushing it back towards your child's pose. And relax here for a moment. Bringing your forehead down to the mat, your arms can stay extended long. If this is too much on your shoulders, feel free to bring your hands around by your side. But in this position, this is this amazing opportunity to stretch your hips in your low back. So if this is really tight on your knees, you can sit with a block or a bolster between just to kind of lift your hips up a little bit. But try to really allow your forehead to sink down into the mat. Staying just like this for one more breath cycle, allowing your body to melt down, mentally preparing for our standing flow, which we're about to get into. And then if your hands are back, start to walk them forward to the front of your mat. And we're going to go for one little side stretch here. So I want you to take your hands, walk them over to the right side of your mat, and then push your hips back towards your heels. So you should feel this amazing stretch through your whole left side body. Take an inhale in, and then exhale, sink into it a little bit more. And then walking through neutral, let's go on over to the other side, going to the left, and sink your hips back, feeling the stretch all on that right side body. Another inhale in, and exhale. And then slowly walking your hands back towards neutral, walking them far out, lifting your hips up from your heels, tucking your toes under, acting like someone's got a belt around your midline. Slowly lift your hips up towards the sky, coming into your first down dog. Now, your knees can be super bent if that is what feels good to you. This is just your first one of the day. So a down dog, if you truly are new to yoga right now, is an upside down V. So what you're trying to do is, if you want to bend your knees, you're trying to push your chest through your arms, really connecting your belly to your thighs, feeling this huge stretch, letting your shoulders sink down your back. And once you get this stretch in your upper body, you start to play with your lower body. So start to lower one heel at a time down to the mat, kind of in a bicycle motion. So lifting and lowering makes this a lot more accessible. And just playing with what feels good. So you are opening up your whole side body in this inversion. So it's letting a lot of blood rush to your head, which is going to help you with some thinking and just clearing everything out. And then coming to a neutral position here. This can be a lot on your shoulders, so we're not going to stay here this long.
And slowly walk your feet forward just about a half step and a little bit wider. And now we're going to take our hands and we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, bending our knees a whole lot, placing our chest down onto those knees. Bring your hands up to your heart center. Staying in this chair squat, lift your torso up just as parallel to the side wall as you can. And we're going to do a couple of squats here. We're just going to start to really get into those legs. So from right here, we're going to do little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5. You can do it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push down through your heels. Come all the way up to standing. Yes. Relax your hands down by your side. And then let's walk up to the front of our mat. So coming on up to the front, we're going to go through 4 or 5 rounds of Sun Salutation A, but each time we're going to add another layer. The first one, we're just going to work on our back body so it doesn't count towards the 4 sides. But you'll understand, I just want you to have some comfort and to get some ownership of the flow so that you kind of know where we're going. It'll help to build your confidence up. So coming to the front of your mat, looking down at your feet, seeing that foundation maybe rocking back and forth, heel to toe. And then I want you to start to feel the balls of your feet pushing down into the mat, the heels of your feet pushing down. Squeeze your legs together like you're lifting up out of your kneecaps. Relax your shoulders down your back. Your core is in tight, being aware of your posture. Your shoulders are down low. On an inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Grab your right wrist, and as you exhale, lean over to the left side. So feeling this stretch all through that right hip. Inhale, back up through neutral. Switch out your grip. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, circle those hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers to make that fist and pull that fist back. So your shoulder blades are rolling back. Your heart is shining forward. Inhale. And then starting to soften those knees, hinge at your hips and come down halfway. So you should start to feel a big stretch through the back of your legs, through your hamstrings. Release your hands, sweep them down by your sides. Sit your hips back like you're sitting into a chair. Inhale your arms up by your ears. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can always bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. And here we are back in this squat. We're going to do those 8 pulses. I promise this is the last time. So here we go. Pulse down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push all the way up to standing. Arms reach up to the sky, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale your hands down by your side. And now we begin. You guys are doing awesome. Here we go. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Be aware, don't let your shoulders sink up into your ears. Really still pull them down. Your core is strong. Exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips, and you're coming down to a forward fold. So start to bring your torso down. Hands on front of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. So this is us straightening your legs, flexing your back. So you're pulling your back into that back bend. We're getting the contraction here. And then release, forward fold again. So now we're flexing that back. Hands come down to the mat. Step your right leg back. Step your left leg back. Lower your knees down to the mat. So we're back in that plank, that modified plank. And we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Coming all the way down to your belly. Now untuck your toes so the tops of your feet are down on the mat. Your legs are zipped up like it's one strong leg. Your hands are underneath your shoulders, right in that nipple line. And then exhale your breath. Let your body relax. And on an inhale, peel your head, your shoulders, and a couple of your ribs up off of that mat. Now we're not putting pressure into our hands. You might not come far. This is letting us see where our back strength is. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, roll it back up. If you have a desk job, this is a very hard position for you. But this is an important one. Exhale and lower so that we don't get that kind of hunch in our shoulders as we age. Inhale, last one, roll it back up. Exhale, roll it back down. So now your hands can come down by your side or they can stay out just a little bit to your side. Let your left ear come down to the mat. Relaxing on down, your toes are in, your heels flop out. One little rest here. Taking a deep breath, feeling your ribs expand in your back body. And exhale. Now pull your chin back towards neutral, lowering your chin down to the mat. Extend your arms out overhead. And on an exhale, you're going to let that breath out. And on an inhale, you're going to lift your hands and your feet off the mat at the same time. So squeeze and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower it back down. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Push yourself all the way back to your child's pose. So just stretching out that back one time. Taking a good inhale in. And exhale it out. Perfect. Slowly push yourself back up to your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up to that down dog. Stay in your down dog for one breath cycle here. You can bicycle out your legs. Do whatever feels good. Inhale and exhale. Bend your knees. Look towards the front of your mat. Walk, step, jump, whatever feels good. Up to the front of your mat. Toes touch. Hands are on the front of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up to standing. So the slower you go, the more you're going to build up the strength in your back. And then hands meet in prayer. Exhale down to your heart center. Take one inhale in. And exhale, release your hands down by your side. Here we go. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Shoulders are away from your ears. Belly is in tight. Exhale, forward fold. Head comes down towards the mat. Hands on front of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step your right leg back. Lower your right knee down to the mat. If you take my classes a lot, you know this is one way I love to warm up the sequence. Inhale, lift both arms up to the sky. Your biceps are by your ears. Your shoulders are away, like sinking away from your ears as well. And then hinging your hips forward. See if you can come into a slight back bend for a little crescent moon pose. So we're really stretching out your hips. And then bringing your hands down to the mat. Push your left leg forward, straightening it out, kicking your left heel down into the mat. Little back bend with your legs here, lifting your chest up, really feeling the back of that left leg open up. And then walking your hands back forward to the front of your mat. Place your hands at the very tip of your mat. Pushing into that left foot, step to the front of your mat, coming back into that forward fold. Hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way back up to standing. Hands circle up. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Take one inhale in here. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky, growing tall. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, hands on front of your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left leg far back on your mat. Lower your left knee down, untuck those left toes. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, hinge forward, leaning your upper body back like you're rolling over a giant beach ball behind you. Being very strong through your core. You're trying to pull your legs towards each other just energetically. And then releasing your hands down to the mat, straightening out that left leg, flexing those left toes, kicking that left heel down into the mat, really feeling that stretch. Putting the bend back into that right knee, hands come to the front of your mat, step up to the front of your mat, placing your feet side by side, forward fold. Hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way back up to standing tall mountain, hands meet in prayer. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Take an inhale in. And exhale, hands down by your side. So that's the foundation. We're going to build onto that. So you guys know where we're going. Inhale your arms around and up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Hands on front of your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step your right leg back. Lower your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging forward, crescent moon. Inhale, straightening back up. Exhale, half splits. So that's what this pose is called. I didn't say that the first time. Stretching out that left leg. Now inhale, put the bend back into your left knee. Place your hands down on the mat. Now tuck your right toes under. We're adding a move here. Lift that right knee off of the floor. And you can stay right here or you can join me in a twist. So keeping your right hand down on the mat, lift your left arm up to the sky. Take an inhale in. And then exhale, lower your left hand down to the mat. Step your back leg up to the front. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to the standing. Exhale your hands down to your heart. Release your arms down by your side. Inhale, circle your arms around and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. So the beauty of this kind of yoga is that it links each breath with movement. So it's kind of like choreography of a dance. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinging your hips forward. These movements start to become very fluid. Inhale up. Exhale, flex your right leg down. Inhale, put the hinge back into that right knee. Lift up your left knee. Exhale your breath. Inhale, twist. Staying here one extra breath just on the first one. Exhale. Inhale, lower that right hand down to the mat. Step your back leg up to the front. Exhale your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to standing. Now there's one more layer we're adding to this. Exhale, and then you have done this beautiful flow. So exhale your hands down by your side. Inhale, circle your arms around and up. You know where we're going. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your right leg back. Right knee down. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge your body forward. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, hinging back, stretching that left hamstring. Inhale, coming back forward, lifting that right knee. Exhale, twist. And here's our next step. Inhale, bring that left arm back down to the mat, and we're going to come into warrior one. So you're stepping your right leg up just a little bit. Your toes are facing out to the 45-degree angle. You're not changing anything else, but now you're lifting your body up. You're in your warrior one. Your right leg is straight. You're pushing down through that pinky edge blade of your right foot. Your hips are facing forward. Release your hands down behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll those shoulder tips back. This is a perfect posture for starting your day. That heart is shining forward and pumping hard. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. And our last trick today is a little warrior three. So you're going to stand on that left leg and just squeeze your right glute to lift your right leg up. You can slowly lower your torso down if you feel like you have more stretch in that left hamstring. But any part of the pose is the pose. So if you're here, respect that. You're doing fantastic. And then lower your right foot down by your left. Release your arms down by your side. Yay, our last side. Here we go. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Coming on down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step that left leg back. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Inhale your arms and torso up to the sky. Exhale, hinging at your hips. Feel your body growing tall out of that midline. Exhale, hands circle down, pushing your right leg straight, flexing those right toes up towards the sky. Putting the bend back into your right knee, untucking your left toes, lifting your left knee. Left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale for that revolved lunge. Hands come back down to your mat. And here we go. You're stepping that left leg in just a little bit. Your toes are all flat. Your feet are flat on the mat. Your left foot's at that 45-degree angle. Inhale, both arms up for warrior one. Core is strong. You're lifting up. Exhale, your hands behind your back. Inhale, shoulder points come back. Heart shines forward. You're setting yourself up to receive so much love today. Releasing your arms around and up. Coming to warrior three. Standing on that right leg. Squeeze. See, I'm wobbling. All the cool kids are doing it. And then squeeze that left leg up. And see if you can hinge forward. Just play with your body. See where your next level is going to be when next time you try this class. And then lower your left leg back down to the mat. Hands up for victory. And exhale, circle your arms around and down. Okay, we're coming down to our mat. So start to get a drink of water if you need one, just lowering all the way down. Okay, so this was a really big flow today. But I hope that you had a lot of confidence in it because we just built it up layer by layer. And I'm being very vulnerable here. I'm a little out of breath as well. So sitting up tall, you have one leg out, one leg is in. It doesn't matter which one you go for because we are going to switch. But releasing your hands down by your side. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. And now we're going to sway laterally. So drop that right hand, lean over to the right, if that's the leg that you're on. You know what I mean. Lean over your extended leg. And then inhale, coming back up. Drop your opposite arm down. Lean over to that other side. Inhale, both arms up. And now I want you to turn your torso so that you're coming down on top of your extended leg. So slowly lower down. You should feel this more in your lower back. We're really stretching out that low back. And whatever shoulder you have forward, lower that shoulder down. We tend to come down off to the side. I want you to really think about lowering so that your shoulders are parallel to the ground as well. Perfect. And then inhale, coming on up, switch out your legs. So switch out the one you got in for the one you got out. Perfect. Once again, finding that posture, your sit bones are rooted evenly down into the mat. Your hands are down by your side. Inhale, circle your arms around and up to the sky. And sway laterally to your extended leg, just coming down, feeling this beautiful lift out of that side body. Inhale, both arms back up, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale, both arms back up. Twist over your extended leg and lower on down. Making those shoulders as parallel to the floor. And if you can't grab your foot, that's fine. Just go wherever you are. You know your limits. Just really respect and honor your body where it is. Your body is beautiful. And right now we are loving on it. And slowly lift back up. We're going to end with one more pigeon pose. I'm going to show you two options for how to get into this pigeon pose. The first one is a little bit more difficult. The second one is better if this is really a gentle yoga that you're looking for today. So just showing you those two. Look at me first, I guess, and then decide the one that you want to go to. So one of the pigeon poses is when you start on all fours. This is, I think, the little bit more of an aggressive one. You're going to slide that right knee up to your right wrist. You're going to cross your right foot across over to your left wrist. And then you are going to slide that left leg back. So you want to have your hips, if there is a bar coming out, you want it to have a parallelness to it. And then you're going to stretch up here. And then you are going to lower down. So if you know that this is the pigeon that you want to try, I welcome you to get into that one right now. However, if you are like the other 70% of our population that has super tight hips, we're going to get into it a different way. So we did it on our backs at the beginning of class. So I want you to extend your legs out in front of you. Cross your right foot over your left knee. And then you're just going to bend up that left foot. So we're doing the same thing. You're on your back, so it's not as compressing on your knee. And then the way you try to see if you have some more balance or some more to give in this, you can walk this left foot in closer to you, or you can push your torso more into this leg. So that's going to get it deeper into your hips. So I will stay here with these ones today. But we're going to stay here just for 2 more breaths. This is a very, very, very tight part of our body, but it's one that we feel so much better for if we stretch. And if you are, because I do a lot of pregnant women, this is a great one for stretching out those hips so that you don't have any more of that sciatica or hip issues. All right. So we're going to come out of this now. So sliding that left leg down, if you are in the seated position, you're just going to go into the other side. And if you're on all fours, come out of it and then slide your left knee up towards your left wrist. So everybody's going into the other side now, feeling that deep stretch, closing your eyes. In yoga, I like to tell in my classes, I'm like, send your breath there. One, that makes you conscious so you're not holding your breath. And two, it might sound cheesy, but I imagine my breath is just shooting out a million little holes into this muscle as I'm shooting that breath out, and it's making that muscle open up a little bit more. Swiss cheese in it instead of it being the solid, thick rope that it feels like. Take another inhale in, and then exhale. Amazing. All right, so everyone's going to come to a seated position. Just a comfortable cross-legged position. We're going to end with one twist before we go into our Shavasana, because we are at our Shavasana. Okay, so I'm going to start with my right leg crossing over. So I'm going to lift my right knee up, and you just honor where you are. If you want to keep your right foot in front of you, fine. If you can cross it over, go there. It's whatever works for you. So we're going to twist into our leg. So I crossed my right leg over, so I'm twisting to the right. So keeping your right hand behind you is a little bit of a kickstand. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Now you can choose to either just grab that left knee and pull it into you, or you can bring your left elbow on the outside of that right knee and let that kind of work as a lever to help twist you over a little bit more. So again, twisting, wringing out the spine. All of our lymphatic system lies along our spine. And so it's really helpful just to give it a little bit of twist. And right now you're compressing your whole digestive system, which, let's just be honest, helps you to get things flowing. All right. And then unwind, do one little counter twist the opposite way. Ooh, it just feels really good. And then switch out your legs. So I'm crossing my left over my right, sitting up tall, left hand comes behind me, right arm goes up to the sky. I can grab that knee and cross into it, or I can lift that elbow and come to the outside. Staying here for one more breath. Inhale and exhale. And then one little counter twist. So just slightly unwinding to the other side. Perfect. Now we're coming to our final Shavasana. I'm gonna get my speaker out from my brassiere. Okay. So Shavasana, everyone's like, up, we're done, I'm out. No, this is the most important, and this is the hardest to stay in, but the one that you need the most. So here we go. Grabbing behind your knees, slowly rolling on back. We have this culture of go, 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 don't waste a minute, and I disagree. Take time for you. If you know me and you talk to my husband, he complains that I take a lot of time for me, but I'm a very happy person. Okay. So extending your legs long on the mat. And again, if this is too much for you, feel free to tent those knees up. It's a lot sweeter on that low back if that's what you would like to do. But coming into your Shavasana, please remain in this moment. Let your breath come and go as naturally as it can. Try to resist any urges to fidget or to move. If any images or thoughts try to sneak into your head, just acknowledge them, let them go. Try to keep your mind this blank space where you are just feeling your body for a moment. I know each and every one of you give. And right now I want you to take a moment and just take. Relax your brow. Feel the point of contact of your head on the mat. Feel the point of contact behind your shoulders in your upper back. Feel your elbows in your hands and your hips. Feel everything just being supported by the earth and gently and lovingly held up so that you can take this moment just to rest. Allow your body this reset. Allow your mind to be loved for a moment. Consciously rest. It's a lot different from falling asleep, letting yourself rest. So I invite you to stay here as long as your life permits today. It's a big, beautiful day, and it is going to be there no matter when you get out of your Shavasana. So relax as long as you can. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing your practice with me this morning. I'm honored to see all of you here. And going forth, let there be peace and love in your thoughts, peace and love in your words, and peace and love in your heart. From my heart to yours, Namaste.